Hello everyone, it's Shanna, part of the creative crew for Cat Scrappiness. Today we're reintroducing some products from Cat Scrappiness. We've got the Oopsie Daisy layered stamp set, the coordinating dies, and the 6x6 layering stencil. We've got the stitched rope nested square craft die, and we've got the mason jar shaker card craft die. And I'm going to be working with the mason jar shaker craft die today, and this is the first time I've used it, so you can see I'm cutting all the pieces apart and getting them ready to work with. Now, this video is a hop, and if you click the link in the description box below, you can follow along and check out the other products that are being reintroduced from different designers. And we also have a hop going on Instagram in which there is a chance to win a $15 giveaway. So you can hop over there and check that out. So right now I'm just getting all of the pieces of paper that I'm going to use. I've got this shimmer that I'm going to use for the outside of the mason jar, the yellow for the inside. We've got some green for the ruffle and some yellow for my my lemons. And I've got a nice striped pattern paper for my straw. I'm using the Crafty Quokka 6x6 premium cardstock along with some additional cardstock from my stash. So I've got all of my elements cut out here. And I'm also going to bring in the Cubert quilt die here and just emboss the whole page and bring the stencil in to go along with it and add some color to this. And I'm just going to bring in a yellow. I'm using my Distress Oxides, and I'm just going to create a yellow background for the base of my card. So the stencil's very easy to lay down once you have embossed your panel. So I'm just going to get it laid down on there and just ink blend it all up, and we'll create a nice little base for our card. Now, when I pulled it off, I did miss some corners from where I had the tape and stuff. So I will cut this down to cut off any white edges that I left on there, and it'll give us a nice little edge around our card. So I'm just trimming this up, and there we have it. So next I'm going to bring in my card base, and you can see I got a nice little edge around there. And I'm going to actually pop this panel up and just add a little dimension to my card and a little shadow from having it popped up. And then we'll get to working on the rest of the elements of our card. Get this laid down. And I like it. I really like that embossed panel with the stencil. So I've got my inside of my mason jar and the outside of my mason jar. I cut out two of the metallic looking ones and then just a white one, and I'm going to layer them up on top of each other just to add some stability to this. And between my two metallic layers and my white layer, I'm going to put my acetate down. So I just cut a little rectangular piece that would fit inside of my shaker there. And I did use the die to cut it out, and then I just trimmed it around. I trimmed off the handle because I didn't need it, and I just left the rectangle piece there. And I removed the protective covering from that acetate, and I'm just going to use some double-sided tape to get it laid down. Double-sided tape works easier on acetate because it doesn't make a gluey mess. And I'm just going to use my pick tool to remove the protective sheet from the tape. And you can see it sticks quite well. So I'm going to just lay the acetate down there and just press it down real well. I'll bring in my bone folder from Cat Scrappiness, and I will just give it a real good press, and then I'm going to attach my kind of shiny metallic paper there to it. And you can see that metallic almost has a rainbow effect to it. It kind of picks up whatever hues are around it. And that was just something that I had in my stash that I wanted to use up. So I'm choosing to make a mason jar full of lemonade is what I've chosen to do. So I've used some of my Cat Scrappiness paper pad there in the yellow, and I'm going to use it for the back of my mason jar shaker. And we will have some lemonade in this jar. So I'm just using some of my foam tape to get the dimension that I need so that I can put my shaker balls in there. I've got some green ones, some white ones, and some yellow ones sitting out there. And those are part of the new release, and I'm going to use them. I decided to go with the yellow and the white and decided not to put the green in there. Just decided not to go with that. And now I'm going to assemble my lemons. And I've just got a piece of yellow and then the white for the outer portion of the lemons. And I'm going to lay a couple of them down inside of my shaker card so that when you shake it, you can see that I've got some lemon slices inside of my lemonade. And I'm just checking it. I'm going to pull off my adhesive backer here. And I've got my little magnet there just trying to hold it in place so it didn't bounce. The balls didn't bounce around as I laid that down there. And I'm just going to press it together. And I realize I need to put some foam tape on the handle to the mug. And so that stabilized it. And now I've got 3 layers of my little ruffle that's going to go on the top of my shaker mug. And I just use this green polka dot paper, and I think it looks super cute. I like the yellow and the green together. And I'm going to layer up my straw. I've got a couple of white layers, and then I've got my patterned paper layer. And I thought this striped patterned paper made for a really cute straw. And I'm going to get it laid down on there. I think this is super cute, super fun for summer. Now this is like a label for the mason jar shaker, and I'm blending it in the yellow, and I ultimately decided not to use it. But I did go ahead and blend it up thinking I was going to use it, and then I began looking for what cinnamon I wanted to use. As I began looking at my sentiments, I wanted to use my sweet sentiment from Cat Scrappiness, and so I knew I wasn't going to use that white piece because the sentiment is much bigger than that little white strip on there. So I'm just going to figure out how I want to arrange this on my card base, and I'm just kind of playing around with it. And I decided to actually go ahead and die cut out a couple more layers. So I just used some of the paper that I had already had there. I had the yellow that I used for the lemonade, and I'm going to lay the green polka dot on top of it, and then I also die cut it out in a white piece. So I had 3 layers, and it would add some real good stability to it. What I'm doing here is just making a little puddle of glue and dragging it through. Sometimes it's just easier to do that than to have a big old glob of glue and make a mess out of your die cut. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm just lining everything up, and I'm ready to begin assembling my card. So I've got my little green lace that I'm going to lay on the top of my shaker, mason jar shaker, and I've got my little straw, and I'm just kind of positioning it, seeing how I want to lay it all out, make sure it all fits on there. And I think I know where I want my mason jar to go, so I've got my straw laid down there, and I've got to put a little bit of foam tape on that green because it is up higher than the rest of the mug. So I'm going to get it laid down on there and position it with my straw, and I'm just trying to get that green exactly how I want it. And then I'm going to put my sentiment across the top of it, and I'm just using some adhesive glue runner, and I'm just going to lay it on top of there. And I think it turns out really super cute. And I'm going to add another lemon to the top of my mason jar. And I get that on there, and then I decide I have to cut it down to make it fit right. And then I decide that I want to add a lime to it as well. So I'm going to get some green, and I'll go to my die cutting machine and cut it out. So I just pull in another white with a little green layer, glue it up, lay it down. And I'm going to lay this on top of my lemon that I've got there. And so I'm going to pop it up with some foam tape and just get it laid down on top of my lemon. And there we go. Now I'm going to bring in some of these Happy Summer enamel dots and just add some of the yellow enamel dots to this, and this will finish off my card. So I've got 3 on one corner and 2 on the other, and I really like how this card turned out. So you can find all the materials are listed in the description box below. You can check them out. And if you do shop with the links, it helps to support my channel and enables me to continue to bring videos to my channel. So thanks for watching and have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.